Hey, what's
What up? What up?
up?
How are you doing?
I am amazing. How are you?
Pretty amazing. Every day above ground is a good one. No complaints.
I know, and it's Monday.
It is. It is a Monday. It is a Monday. It
It
doesn't feel like
is
a Monday, but
Monday. It
start of the
felt like a
week.
Monday.
So for the people who may be unaware and all that, could you give a quick synopsis of just who you are, what it is that you do, and how you got started and what you do?
Sure. So if you're new here, my name is Ty. I go by the Manifestation Goddess. I am a manifestation coach and mindset coach. I do this through building a positive self concept through self awareness. I got started doing this because this is something I just did pretty much helping my friends, and I realized that this is my calling. So here I am.
Dope. Positive self concept. So what
Yes.
for the people who may be unaware, could you kind of give a quick synopsis of what positive self concept is and how they go about actually constructing one?
Sure. So, positive self concept is pretty much how you view yourself and how you present yourself to the world. So, in a nutshell, I say it's your self confidence in all aspects of your life. So, to build that, to build it, you can go in depth, but it's going to start with your mindset. Like, you have to feel like you're just that person. Like, nobody's better than you. We all have our own story. So, learning how to embrace your story is going to be crucial in building that strong self concept for sure.
How does a person get the concept of self that they have currently?
I feel like, of course, it's through our belief systems, how we was raised, our environment. Um, I would say just how we carry ourselves through the world, like the things that we're exposed to, tend to impact the way we view ourselves. So learning how to filter, I would say the biggest thing is learning how to filter through what you see in the world, what you get from your family, what you get from. I'm not frozen. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Phone call came in. Them
I
boys
just
be
put it on silent.
disruptive. Uh, so can you tell the people what role has like healing played in shifting your self concept, and as a result of your healing, how has what transformation has actually taken place in regards to how you see yourself because of the healing journey that you've taken?
Sure. I feel like first and foremost, I feel like healing is an ongoing thing. I don't feel like we're ever 100% healed. I feel like there may be aspects of your life that you feel completely healed from it, and then you're working on something else. So for me, I feel like the biggest thing was learning self-compassion. And I feel like once I learned how to be just as compassionate and give myself just as much grace as I give everyone else, that contributed big to my healing process and just to my self concept. Like understanding, like if you're willing to give everybody else this grace, why would you not be willing to give yourself that same grace? It really don't make sense when you think about it.
No, that's true. Can you kind of break down practically what that looks like in regards to giving ourselves grace? Because I think that's something that a lot of people need to do, but in regards to what that actually looks like in regards to action, people may struggle. So can you give some practical steps in regards to giving yourself grace?
Sure, I would say my first step, and it's the easiest, is watch how you talk to yourself. The same way you would talk to your homegirl or your homeboy, talk to yourself that exact same way. I feel like we tend to beat up on ourselves much more than we will beat up on anybody else. And if you have kids, talk to yourself with the same compassion as you will talk to your kids. I feel like you will always show your kids love, so show yourself that same love. That's going to be key. I would say number two, I'm big on meditation if you don't know me. So I feel like learning to sit with yourself quietly is crucial. I feel like so many times we have so much different noise going on to distract ourselves. So learning to just sit with yourself is going to be crucial.
No, that's powerful. Um, how did you become aware of the areas in which you needed to heal from, and that the unresolved, the wounds, the emotional wounds that you have that were still unresolved that needed to be addressed? How did you become aware of those things?
One, getting a healing coach, as you know, getting a healing coach for sure. I feel like getting a healing coach, I had multiple healing coaches. I feel like That was big because even I feel like I went through a lot of healing by myself, but there was things that I didn't know I still need to heal from. Like there was things that I didn't even know was an issue because it's like you bury it so far gone. It's like that's not a problem for me. It's like yeah, but it's actually showing up in other ways. So I say get a healing coach, learn to sit with yourself. Those would be the biggest two things for me. Like sit quietly, talk to God, and then get help, get some help. Like
I agree.
we ain't in this world by ourselves, so that's not by accident. We need each other.
We definitely need each other, and there's somebody out there that is on the other side of what you're currently enduring. I was listening. What up, RJD? I was listening to something, and it said, "Don't be so conceited in your problems," which basically means don't think that you're the only one that's experiencing the turmoil or the tragedies or the tribulations that you're actually going through. You know, somebody that's already experienced that and made it on the other side. And from that person, you can get inspiration, you can get wisdom, you can get guidance, you can get information as far as what to avoid. So I agree wholeheartedly with you when it comes to that.
I'm glad you said something. I don't know if there's comments because I can't see, but I'm glad you said that because I feel like so many times when we're on our healing journey that we forget that there's people out there that's been through what you've been through. So I feel like that's a big thing, like finding that support system because sometimes you feel like you just in it alone, like you're the only person that ever gone through it. And then when you start being your authentic self, talking to people, you learn like there's people who where you at right now, and there's people who's on the other side of it. So that's
I agree.
important.
And I got a deep rooted belief that if it's possible for somebody, then it's possible for me. So I always try to find people who were in circumstances that I'm in currently, but made it to the desired state that I want to be in. And again, since that belief is deep rooted in me, that if it's possible for them, it's possible for me, then immediately I have inspiration that I can get out of whatever circumstance it is. And like you said, there's not one really mentor that I go to for everything. So I have certain areas. I got
Hmm.
mentors that I go to when it comes to healing. I got mentors, you know, me and my son's mom separated, you know, so I had mentors when it came to rebuilding a family, creating another family, getting over a breakup, um, finding some type of inner peace, being able to not respond to certain triggers. It's like you can find mentors for literally specific things. Sometimes a mentor literally is only going to teach you one thing, and that is enough, in my experience.
Yeah. I feel like the biggest part, another big part for me, just with the self-awareness, is knowing that you already survived 100% of your bad days. So I feel like once I look at things that way, like I've literally survived things that I thought I would not get through. What makes me think I'm not going to get through this? I feel like when I keep that in the back of my mind, like I survived, I persevered, I'm better for it. Like this is going to be the very same instance. Like you're going to be better for it. So
Yeah.
that's big for me.
And I always try to tell people to like use the mind, like the tricks that the mind play against itself. So because of excitation transfer, because the brain can't tell the difference between things that we vividly imagine and an actual experience, we can use those things to our advantage. You know, we
Hmm.
had did some work together and all that where we could think about just the last time in which, you know, anybody who's listening on this live, just think about the last time in which you felt like just extremely confident. And when you think about that memory, like in your mind, go back and relive it. Just see what you saw, hear what you heard, feel how you felt. And within just a minute or so, like the feeling of confidence will start coming in the body. Even though that experience happened however long ago it happened, if you could make it real in your mind, then it'll be real in your nervous system. And then that confidence will come. So a lot of times when we feel like we're lacking something, a lot of times it's already within us now. It's just we're not in the proper perception or we're not in the proper mind state to be able to access that particular emotion. But literally, the only thing we got to do is just think about a time in which we genuinely felt it because the brain can't tell the difference between what we vividly
Hmm.
imagine and an actual experience. That's a way in which we can use that to our advantage. Use it, the trick that it plays on us, but against itself.
Right. And as a manifestation coach, I am big on visualization. Like you said, the subconscious mind literally does not know the difference between imagination and reality. So once you're able to like embody those feelings, like your body's going to start responding as if that is truly what's happening to you. Like even like when you think about trauma or PTSD, when people relive those things as if they're going through it in that exact moment, you can do it on the completely opposite end too.
Facts. And this even goes for any type of like conflict that you're having with people. I tell them like, think about a person in which you find it very, very difficult to have conflict with. And then when you think about the images that come to your mind in the scenarios and the movies that come to your mind when you think about this person, most of the time it's of a negative interaction. And I was reading this book called The Power of Awareness, and it was talking about how a lot of times we have these mental arguments with people, and we're like projecting in our mind what we expect them to say. What up, Zeke? What we expect them to say. So let's just say with our boss, we could on our way to work know that this person is going to respond a certain type of way, so we're playing out these mental arguments in our head the whole time, but because our brain can't tell the difference, we're actually feeling the emotion as if it's
Hmm.
really happening within our body. So then as soon as we get to work and we have the conversation with our boss, we are giving off the energy that we didn't build up from the imaginary conversation that we had in
Right.
our head. And that's how a lot of times we tend to send off the cues that bring back the very same thing that we said we don't want, because it's the feeling that's really the cornerstone of magnetism. So a lot
Right.
of people just think that's why a lot of times affirmation don't work anyway, because what you saying you don't really feel to be true. So it got to be the feeling and the
I'm
words
big.
actually got to align.
Hmm.
Otherwise, whatever the feeling that you're emitting is what you're going to actually bring to you.
I agree. I feel like when I teach, just even for myself, when I work with a manifestation coach for myself, I'm like, I've never been big on affirmations. I was like, because I'm not feeling it. I was like, in order to like you was talking about, you're already in that feeling, so it's like that vibration. In order for me to actually be in a vibration of something, I have to feel it. So if I'm saying affirmations that I don't believe, it's not gonna make sense. Like you have to truly feel what you're saying. So it goes back to you having an argument with somebody that didn't even happen. So in their mind, they just approaching you on some everyday stuff, but you already done had a whole argument. And your body's now responding to an argument that y'all didn't have. But I feel like you can even take that back to self awareness. Like we have conversations with ourselves all the time, constantly in our head. So why not control that conversation? Like why not make it positive? Like
Facts.
if you're gonna have these conversations all day, literally 24 hours in a day, unless you're sleeping, you're having a conversation in your head. Why not make it a positive one? Like it
Facts.
takes practice, but you can do it.
Facts. Because it's what we do already when we generate worry or fear, because both faith and fear requires you to believe in something that hasn't happened yet. So it's like we get this idea in our mind of something that's possible, we start dwelling on it. The more we dwell on it, the more it starts to feel real in our body, and before you know it, we're walking around with all the symptoms of fear and worry, but it all started from our imagination. But like
Mm-hmm.
you said, we're making it all up in the first place because the thing that we're worrying about that feels real to us has not happened yet. So if we what would happen if we switched it to a positive image? So instead of just
Mm-hmm.
focusing on a negative image in our mind, we focusing on a positive image of something that we actually want to happen. Now, since it's a positive image, it's not generating fear. It's not generating worry. Now it's actually generating faith. Now it's generating excitement. Now it's generating joy. But the point of it is that once you bring your awareness to what's going on in your mind, you realize that you actually have control. So many times, a lot of people don't really feel like they have control of what's going on up here, but it's like a muscle. If you never spend time disciplining yourself for the control, then it's going to be like a wild horse. It's just going to run any type of way that it wants to. But you got to learn how to get on top of it and control and harness the actual power of it. And then that wild horse can be controlled. But if not, it's just going to run whichever way it wants. But then also, you're just going to have to get whatever shows up in your life at that point in time. If you don't guard this, your spiritual estate, just like you guard your crib. I was on a podcast today talking
Mm-hmm.
about this. People guard their crib with a gun or with a security system or attack dogs or weapons and all these other. But what do you got to guard your spiritual estate? What do you got to guard your actual mind from intrusive thoughts, from negative beliefs, from limiting beliefs that come in, from destructive thought patterns, from thoughts that come in on the outside, from thoughts that bubble up from the inside? It's like, what do you have to actually protect yourself, your spiritual estate, which is more valuable than anything that can happen on the outside?
And just you saying that makes me think of like people are just so afraid of sitting with themselves. I feel like I don't know how many times I come across people like, yeah, I never sit like in the quiet. I have to have music going. I have to have something going. It's like, have you ever just thought of just sitting with yourself? Like, are you afraid of what's gonna come up? But I'm like, whatever's gonna come up is what you need to work through. Like, once you realize it's like once you're aware of what you need to work through, that's how you gonna get there.
I agree. What whatever keeps popping up is just a signal to you as far as what you need to address, which ties to what do they say? The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. And so many times people are wanting peace, or people are wanting stillness, or people are wanting joy, or whatever it is, but it's on the other side of, like you said, just sitting with yourself, allowing yourself to embrace whatever sensations or emotions that's going on in the body. And I believe that's why so many people are struggling to feel positive emotions nowadays, is because your nervous system can't, you can't just numb the negative emotions. That's not really how things work. So when people got these habit of avoidism or escapism, which ties into what we're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
not being able to sit with ourselves. So as soon as a negative sensation comes into the body, you want to drink something, you want to smoke something, you want to
Right.
have sex and bust a nut or whatever. So you just calm and you just chill, or you want to go eat a whole bunch of junk food, so all the blood goes to your
Mm-hmm.
stomach and now you super relaxed, or you want to watch something, distract yourself, whatever it is. All of these things really is just a negative habit, as opposed to just being able to just deal with the sensation, because you can't just say again, like, I just want to numb negative feelings. But then what you end up doing is stopping yourself from really being able to feel positive feelings as well too. And so people want peace. People want to be able to feel good on the inside and have a great internal experience. But like you said, they fear the sensations of the body. They fear just sitting in silence and not knowing where their thoughts are going to go, not
Mm-hmm.
knowing where, again, what feelings is going to pop up in the body. And they're not realizing that all feelings are temporary. So yes, some difficult sensations may come into the body for a period of time, but those feelings will subside. That's why I always tell people, cardio for me was one of the best ways for learning how to sit with my emotions. Because for me, when I run long distance, and not just a short time, you got to be upwards of, like, 3 to 10 miles.
I can't
But
relate. I hate long distance. Go ahead.
but the reason why I do it though is because when you're running long distances, there comes a lot of point in times where you feel negative sensations in the body and it makes you want to stop. But you realize that if you can just pull your mind somewhere else and not really focus on it, that the negative sensation will pass. And then you just running like nothing ever happened and all that. I might feel a pain in my leg, but then I push through it. I don't stop. And next thing you know, the pain goes away. And so
Mm-hmm.
what training long distance taught me is that being able to deal with the negative sensations of the body, knowing that they're gonna pass. So now when it comes to just negative sensations, I always just tie it to running. And I'm just like, I just know I can outlast this negative feeling because I do it so much when it comes to my cardio. So anybody that's struggling with sitting in negative emotions, I always tell them to try to focus on pushing yourself in uncomfortable areas in a different area of life, and then that will help translate into you being able to sit with the negative sensations that come with the emotions.
And I want to go back to what you said about like guarding your house, like you'll guard your house. I like how you mentioned like spiritual hygiene, because I feel like you're right. You'll guard your house. You wouldn't let a robber in, but then you let certain people in your life that's robbing you of your joy. Like to me, it really don't make sense. Like they still stealing something from you, and they stealing something that's more valuable than a material item. So I really like that analogy.
Nah, nah, that's facts. Um, so what like programs or like what type of coaching and all that do you offer?
So I do a lot. I do one-on-one coaching. Battery might die. I do one-on-one coaching. I do email coaching. I do text coaching. I offer meditations. Just DM me.
Oh,
I'm
okay, I'm just out
usually
of curiosity, what is email coaching?
so email coaching is where you'll send me an email, let me know what you're struggling with, then I can able to get back to you, give you a rundown of what I think will be the best route you can take to work through whatever you're struggling with. Mainly when I
Uh,
do my email coaching is mainly for manifestations. Like mindset coaching, I highly recommend that be one-on-one or texting, but for email coaching, it's usually for manifestation coaching.
and it's like just different layers of access to you. So some is
Yeah,
email, some is text,
right.
but okay. And the more access, I'm assuming, the higher the price and the higher the ticket and all
Absolutely.
that. Okay,
So
okay,
if you
that makes
want to
sense.
do one-on-one coaching, that's definitely going to be a mindset thing, and that's me teaching you how to change the paradigms of your thought system. Like, what are you believing, and how does that affect your daily life? How is that affecting your self-concept?
Can I join?
No idea who
Are
that
you
is.
asking, can you join her coaching? I'm not sure who that is. either. What up, Marcus, man? Hope all is well, man. We definitely got to connect.
But
Oh man, yes. Was there anything that you wanted to discuss that I didn't kind of talk about? I know I was just firing off questions to you.
so for my followers, just if you can go down like who you are, what you do, and for those who don't know me, he helped me so much this summer. Highly recommend.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was still waiting on that video, if you don't mind.
I
I forgot
forgot.
all about that. I did too until you just said that. Yes, my name is Chris McBride. I run the McBride Institute, where we educate, heal, and empower. We focus a lot on helping people who are weighed down with emotional scars by the past, help people harmonize dysfunctional relationships, and help people master internal conflicts. So that is primarily what we do at the McBride Institute.
Perfect. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Had me working through some
Definitely.
childhood traumas that I didn't even know I was struggling with. But
Hey,
I'm
but shout out to you though.
happy
I
for it.
appreciate
I'm
you doing it.
literally the happiest I've been probably my whole adult life this month. So I'm happy for it.
Hey, turn up, turn up. And I got some more things that I definitely want to practice with you as well too. So we got to connect. But definitely whenever you get the chance, shoot me that video.
Okay.
Did you have anything else that you wanted to ask of me or kind of discuss before we had got off or?
No, I think we touched on everything.
All right, I know I was just rapid fire. Does anybody in the comments got any questions on anything that we kind of talked about? I was rapid fire. You know, we just kind of freestyled this live tonight. It came together last minute. We were supposed to have one a while ago, and then I had to cancel, so that was my B. So I hit her up today, last minute. Was like, "Yo, you trying to do it?" She was like, "Yep, let's do it." And so we just made it happen on the fly. So I appreciate y'all rocking with us and being okay with this kind of this freestyle
Right.
template that we're
I ain't
doing.
letting none of them know I'm going live or nothing.
And I typically never let people know I'm going live, so I got to do a better job at that, especially with the amount of attention that be coming to this page. I never promote anything. I need to do a better job of that. I will. Maybe you can help me in that area. I'm struggling.
Right.
Well, anyway, you have an amazing night. Shout out to Bam Bam. You have an amazing night, and let's definitely connect again.
I'm about to
What's your
make your
availability?
video.
Right on. Thank you. What's your availability looking like Saturday or Sunday?
I might be traveling this week, so I don't know. I
Well,
will
we'll
probably
just
have to
play it by
look into
ear.
next week.
Well, let's play it by ear. Next week, I am kid free Wednesday and Thursday. So let me know your schedule or just shoot me a text. Let me know which day works for you.
All right.
Alrighty, y'all have a blessed night.
Bye.
Peace.